SLO Garden.
Hello Soul Healers, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I'm your host to the universe, Christopher Witecki. And this week your free horoscope is sponsored by yours truly. Right now I'm having my March Madness sale. If you buy a 1-hour reading, I will give you a free 30-minute follow-up sometime in 2012. This is great for a first-time reading, and they do go quickly. In fact, I have the last week in March open. First come, first serve, but they do fill up quickly. It's a great price, so even if you have to wait a month or two, I only do one of these a day, so I do a good job. Also, come on down to SLOgarden.me, your Facebook away from Facebook. We're developing an awesome community right now. We're labeling, well, labeling isn't a good term, but we're identifying new sprouts to come in the garden so that we can be of assistance, so our staff can be there and know who are the new people. That's what we're doing. But come on down. We've got a whole bunch of stuff, including a writing staff that is always writing up Virgo articles, and we're always looking for more help too. So if you want to volunteer and be a part of it, it's cool. We're interested in your voice, and we're interested in what you have to say. So come on down to SLOgarden.me and let us take care of you for once. Also, it is all about relationships this month. Talking about taking care of. Those of you who are watched over by the Guardian Agency, I just want to point out the psychic with texts. Some people have replied, wondering where this is all leading. It's a good thing. I'm asking you specific questions that you're going to need the answer to later. So just write it down and keep going. It is all going to build. This is what watching over means, is that I've got your best interest. So keep going. It's going to lead to something exciting. So the psychic with text, that is. Now, the Virgos are working on long-term relationships. We're going to wrap up the LTR lesson for the year here in the next 9 days. Here on Monday, as we start off, Uranus rules the day. By the way, sorry for not being there. I had my own breakdown with Mercury retrograde. But Uranus rules the day, so Monday was a day of breakdown. Might have had a relationship breakdown. Might have had an issue within the relationship breakdown. Might have had just a realization, very quiet one, because this final breakdown in Chapter 3 is usually subtle. If it's big, that means there was a lot building up to it. The moon is in Scorpio at this time, so emotions and thoughts are co-triggering in a big way, and you're very pensive. You might have put your foot in your mouth, because now that Mercury goes retrograde on Monday, you're going to be thinking inside out. What Mercury retrograde is that literally our two voices switch sides. You got the devil and the angel, they switch the shoulders. It is your inner voice becoming your outer voice becoming your inner voice. We end up seeing things differently, and secrets and information ends up slipping from others and ourselves. This universe's way of lubricating information. So retrogrades are an interesting time indeed, and that began. Now the retrograde means, first off, that you will be reconsidering your old decisions or approach to intimacy or trust. So no matter how much progress you've made in trusting and intimacy, Mercury retrograde says, we're going to think different, and I'm going to tell you some other reasons for that as well. Then on Tuesday is a day of breaking through. Mercury rules the day, and Mercury is retrograde, so now really we're feeling the new consciousness and the way of thinking that will last until April 4th, by the way. The moon moves into Sagittarius. That's going to pull you into needing self-nurturing. So your emotions need extra pampering on Tuesday and Wednesday, FYI. You want to take good care of yourself on Tuesday and Wednesday emotionally. You'll be figuring things out as far as relationships are concerned. Information might come out in the retrograde you didn't know before. You might tell or release information to relationships that you didn't release before. This is part of the retrograde. This is also part of the relationship transit that you're trying to graduate this month. Also, look at the soul pyramid lighting up. This is what is going to be a major holy shift on Wednesday. But remember, nurture yourself with the moon and Sag. Let's move to that Wednesday. On Wednesday, nuclear holy shift. We've been building up to this all month long. It's the soul pyramid in Earth. What makes today special is Venus dead conjunct Jupiter at 9 degrees, and these two planets exactly 9 degrees. Only this day, and it breaks apart. Cool stuff. Now, Jupiter here. Basically, the universe has a whole big lesson for Virgos right around the corner. When I say big lesson, I mean you think you know everything, but oh, Jupiter says you don't. You've got 2 chapters of blowing your mind, lifting the roof off of the church, off of the school, okay? You don't even know what to ask for chapter 3 yet. Jupiter is just going to trailblaze and change your entire philosophy if you let it. And that's what Venus says. It's time to go ahead and let in the new information and let in the new meaning in your life. Creating meaning from other things now. creating new meaning in your life out of new things. That's what this is. Now, Pluto here means that you're going to have to let go of the old story of the inner child, the old story of when you grew up, you never got what you wanted, you never had fun, it was always serious, you took care of everyone. Sound familiar? That has to go if you're going to step into this new way of thinking. You can't bring that luggage with you. It's way out of date. Okay, faux pas. But really what has to happen is Mars retrograde in Virgo. For all this to pull off, for you to move into the new thinking and go on to the new personal dream story, you're going to have to maybe reconsider some of your ego's positioning. All right? I know you went through hell with Saturn. I know your ego got built up. I know you think you can handle anything. You can. But make sure you're fighting the right fights. Mars retrograde says you may not be. It may turn out that your ego needs to change some of its positioning. They need to back up, which means you're already going back on your new credit. But, you know, anyone that judges you like a Virgo should be for shame. Right? So don't worry about going back on what you've said. What's important is that you operate in a healthy way. Now, for those of you who are who have signed up for the GA Alert Network, we'll be sending out some free Witecks on Wednesday, helping you through this transition. You still can sign up for it anytime, by the way. All you have to do is pay for your own text messages on your side, and we'll send you actually a couple of advertisements, depending on how many texts we send. But it's a way of kind of watching out for you when Holy Shift hits the fan, which will be Wednesday. Then Thursday. Thursday is a day really of committing to God consciousness. We're going to log in. We're going to see how this feels. We're going to listen to intuition. Perhaps some things happen. We are talking about relationships with you in the forefront. So maybe you're having a drama this whole month with someone you're in a relationship with, and maybe you're having dialogue. Well, Thursday is a day to ask your guides, is this real? Asking your guides that, getting that higher self opinion. The soul pyramid is in action, which means we are open any time now for you to reverse an ego action that you've done before or go back on that. The moon will be in Capricorn, and in this day, you're going to have to emotionally let go of that old inner child story. So I'd said you're going to have to let go of the poor childhood or whatever that is, and it was one, but you're going to have to let it go. The actual letting go of it, or maybe letting yourself feel bad about it, maybe you haven't let yourself ever feel bad about it until now that you had a shitty childhood. This would be the time to go ahead and do it. FYI, when the moon crosses Pluto. Go ahead, cry, get it out, let's move on to the next fun thing, says the inner child and Pluto. So that's part of that. Then moving to Friday. We finally get to Friday. Friday is really a day of commitment, deciding. So making a preliminary decision about relationships, or your approach to relationships, or your definition of what is fair, which is what the whole Sun in Pisces issue is. Uranus reaches 4 degrees on Friday. What's interesting about that was last time Uranus was 4 degrees, the stock market crashed, triggering a world depression. That's right. So I'm curious what will happen. For you, it means a stock market crash of trust and intimacy. Your walls are going to come down, and you're going to build new ones. Even if the walls you have are good ones, you're still going to want to build them all on a solid new foundation of trust and intimacy. A foundation that's based on what? Saying goodbye to the old story. Right? Once you say goodbye to the old story and it is dead and it's a new you, well, everything must change. Every boundary must change based on this new story where your inner prince or princess gets what it wants. That's the new story. That's what enlightenment is, living in joy. So you want to commit to that on the relationship side on Friday. Now, if you want company on Friday, come on down to SG Live. Carolyn Nagel and I have a live webcam radio show that goes live at 11 a.m. We have a live chat room. I can't say live anymore. What we've been focusing on is intuition and logging into one's psychic ability. So if you've been developing your psychic abilities, come on down. That's what we're talking about on Friday this last week in Pisces. Then on Saturday, Saturday is really a day where things start to move forward. Mars rules the day. It's a day of action. So you want to take action in your relationships. Look at how the sun is heading for this big nuclear intimacy spot, and Mercury is heading over to the party at the same time. In fact, Mercury and Uranus are dead conjuncting at that stock market breakdown degree 4. Okay, so they're breaking down. So something about trust probably breaks down Saturday or Sunday. Something you used to trust in yourself, it always starts with yourself, but then it leads to lovers and things like that. But something breaks. Whatever breaks was built out of straw, little pig, and the sun is heading to realize it. Action, activity, this red line is fear. So there's going to be fear that crops up. All right? Fear from letting go of the old story and stepping into the new relationship paradigm. There's fears that come up. There's consequences to change. Virgos probably know every detail, and they have it indexed somewhere in their mind. You're going to have to face any false fears and let them go for the next 10 days. I'll be talking about this in next week's horoscopes, but it comes up. The moon moves into Aquarius during Saturday. It moves out of inner prince or princess and into reality. So Saturday can be a real heavy, real day if you're not managing your energy very carefully. On Sunday, we shift into holding space. So you're going to hold relationship space, hold for what balance is, hold. That's what we do when we manifest reality. We hold the energy and let the universe start to echo it around us. Right, so we teach in boot camp. Notice Uranus Mercury, this whole breakdown of trust and intimacy starts going nuclear on Sunday. And we'll talk about more next week, but it's part of what's going on right now. The moon in Aquarius does mean you will be hyper aware on Sunday, but I don't predict anything negative for Virgos, just very aware and sensitive. All right, Virgo, that's all I got for now. Now, do remember, if you want a reading with me, and now's the time, 60 minutes plus 30, that's a sale that goes on for a couple of weeks, and I do fill up fast. And come on down to the garden, hang out with our other Virgos. I'll see you in 7 days with more. Until then, live, love, be.